morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm your host, Sarah Honan, and I am here with the One Green World founder, Jason Steinberg. Jason, thanks for coming today.
Thanks for having me.
What was the process that brought you to the opening day at the One Green World Cafe?
Well, it was a long process. It was probably about a 2-year process, and if I wanted to give you the really long story, it would be like a 28-year process, which is about how old I was when it opened. But the shorter version is that as an English language instructor at a different university than Gannon, I noticed that I had a lot of Chinese students and a lot of Japanese students that were kind of holing off by themselves, and they weren't talking to any Americans, and they weren't actually talking very much English at all. And as an English language instructor, I was thinking this is the exact opposite of what they need to be doing. You know, I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with any babies who have learned like Russian growing up in America, and the reason that you're not is because there aren't any. Because babies learn English in America through talking to other Americans who speak English to them, right? If they wanted to learn Russian, they'd go to Russia and learn Russian. Well, similarly, a Chinese student or a Saudi Arabian student or a Japanese student or any student who comes to America and wants to learn English, well, they have to talk to Americans or else they're not really going to learn English. And so I thought to myself, okay, so how can we help facilitate this? And what I found the major problem to be was that there's very little incentive. I mean, what's in it for the students to actually talk to Americans, short-term wise? You know, I mean, of course, I could talk till I'm blue in the face about how, you know, in 20 years they're going to get the job as the CEO because they speak fluent English when they go back to China. But, you know, I mean, come on, forget that, you know. Nobody, I mean, are you going to do something now if that means in 20 years you're going to get a benefit? No, absolutely not, you know. So we had to tone down the, the kind of lofty goals and just think very practically, you know, what's going to motivate people to do anything. And so, well, what motivates people? Cold, hard cash. So the idea was, you know, let's start this business where we've got international, we can employ 50% international, 50% Americans, pay them essentially to hang out together, you know, and then they'll go and hang out after work because, you know, everybody knows if you work as a waiter, if you work as, I mean, your friends come from where you work because you spend a lot of time with them. So you end up talking, oh, what you doing after work? You want to go to this party? You want to go hang here? You know, maybe I can meet your friends, blah, blah, blah. So that was the one thing. The other thing was that, you know, Gannon and other universities are ramping up their international student populations, and cities like Erie don't have all that many amenities. They don't have they don't have businesses. They don't have the Arabic supermarkets, which, although, you know, we're getting those, we don't have the Chinese supermarkets. We don't have the Indian supermarkets. So we're missing an opportunity to because we're not offering a lot of these students what they want in terms of entertainment, and food's one type of entertainment, then the students in cities like Erie and other places, you know, Los Angeles is not so much a problem, they might actually be leaving Erie because they don't get what they want. So let's kill two birds with one stone. Let's create a business that actually satisfies a market need, and at the same time, and keep students here by doing that, and at the same time, within the business, incentivize interaction between international and American students so that we can actually create some relationships there. And by doing that, kind of double down, you know, and really keep those students here and also internationalize the American community. So that was the idea.
How do you plan to push your goal further and achieve what you want?
Well, I mean, the real goal here is integrating or facilitating the social integration of international and American students. It's not about only helping the international students do well in school. It's about really changing the world by bringing these two populations together, and it's as much for Americans as it is for the internationals, in my opinion. You know, I have a background where, you know, I've always been very, very interested in, you know, the world and in other countries and in blah, 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 blah. And what I find, I grew up in the Midwest. I grew up in Ohio. And in Ohio, in Kent, Ohio particularly, where I come from, they're just, most of us Americans, we don't tend to have the feeling, we don't tend to intuitively, you know, understand that we really need to know about the rest of the world. We really do, because our country is the most powerful in the world, but someday it won't be. You know, and we have to create partnerships. For the soul of America, we must do this. You know, I feel this very, very, very strongly. And so my goal is not just with the One Green World Cafe, but in everything that I do to help that happen. So there are other projects we're doing. You know, there's a website we're doing now. You know, the One Green World Cafe is up and running, and it's getting better and better and better. Do I believe it's going to succeed at Gannon? Absolutely. Will it take time? Absolutely. Anything does. I would say that within 1 calendar year from right now, the One Green World Cafe will be the hottest spot on campus. That's me. I'm actually not even too much intimately involved with it anymore because, you know, as I've passed it on and I've had to take a step back. But that's what I think for Gannon. I think things like the One Green World Cafe will blossom at other universities. I think the website we're doing will also happen. So I see it moving forward. Yeah.
How is it going with the business being student run?
It's hard. It's a challenge, you know. I mean, one of the main challenges is that, you know, student schedules are just what they are. You can't have like a contiguous 8-hour shift. I mean, it's just, you know, forget that. You know, some of the other issues are, you know, adequate training for such a job. You know, it's just kind of ongoing handling it. And the other issue is, like I said, in terms of like the preparation for the job, if you want a manager, a student manager, you know, it takes a lot to be a manager of other people. I mean, so, you know, I'm 30, 50, 60, 40-year-olds can't even do it sometimes. 50-year-olds can't even 60. So to expect a 21-year-old student to manage somebody else is a lot to ask of them. Now, I am also confident that, you know, the students that we have at Gannon are totally up for the task. And I know, for example, Fada Al-Sadek, she is a founding member of the coffee shop, and she's doing remarkably well at managing other students. And so there's a lot of talent, but really the leadership of such an operation, that's a key challenge. Having said all of those 3 challenges, I think what counteracts those is to have a compelling ethos, you know, a compelling environment or atmosphere and like reason for existence in the coffee shop so that the people who do work there feel like they're really a part of it and they feel like their decisions have an impact and they feel like they're a part of something that's bigger than themselves. And so in that context, what we've created is the foundation or the groundwork, you know, to build on for, you know, for future success.
Well, Jason, I wish you luck in achieving your goals. Thank you for joining us today, and thank you for watching Coffee Talk.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.